Okay, so my name's Thomas. I'm going to explain some basic sounds I can make vocally. Now the purpose of making these sounds vocally is to see what vocabulary I have for the purposes of performance art. What I have in front of me to start with is a loop station. Now a loop station allows you to layer sounds on top of each other, so you end up with an ambience or a wall of sound, so to speak. To the left of me there, I also have an amplifier. So this is without the amplifier, this is with the amplifier. I'm now going to walk you through how I do a few sounds. I'm going to start with a basic beatbox riff. How you develop a beatbox riff is by saying B and using your lips in saying B. So this is a snare drum. Now you do a snare drum by sucking air back into your teeth like this. If I slow that down, so when you put them together, the B and the snare, you end up with so I've added in another sound there. Now what the other sound is basically sucking air in under my tongue. So it's like this. So it's basically breathing. So I'm going to do it again. So we have the basic snare drum, so we understand the basics there. Now, moving on from the basics, we have a few other sounds. Now, I developed this one by saying tu-tu-ta-ta very fast. You say tu-tu-ta-ta for basically blowing and drawing on a harmonica when playing a harmonica. So that's tu-tu-ta-ta, quite slow. So when you do it really fast, you end up with tu-tu-ta-ta. Okay, perfect. So that sounds like a drill. So now moving on from that, I have something that I like to refer to as a space alien. Okay, so how you do a space alien is by holding air really tight into one side of your face, in your cheek. So, and then I'm pushing it back out like this. Now you can use your hand or you can just let it go. So how I make the space alien talk is simply by moving my lips while pushing the air out, like this. So if I push the air out in sections and quite fast, you end up with a laugh, like this. Okay, so that's a space alien. This one I developed over time, and I based it on the work of Jerzy Gutowski, a theatre director from the 1950s era. If you scream into the microphone, you end up with a wall of sound. I'm going to scream into the microphone and then layer back over it with a scream again. What's intended is a motor sound. The main purpose of this as an exercise, as a performance exercise, is that you would scream at the wall and it will bounce back And eventually, after doing it for a number of hours, you would end up with a motor sound of sorts by it bouncing back off the wall and basically ricocheting off the two sound waves that are coming back and forth. I'm going to do it now with a loop station because it takes a lot less time. Something to keep in mind is throat singing when doing this. That for a second. So now the next thing I'm going to explain is that on my amplifier down here, I'm going to basically turn the volume up and down, and that basically simulates an engine being started up and then slowed down. So it's like the turn of the key by turning the volume control on the actual amplifier like this. So I'm going to let the sound go again there now. There at the end was leave the mic in front of the amplifier so it feeds back, so you end up with like a really loud screech at the end to kind of finish it off. So that's basically a motor sound. Now moving on from the motor sound, we also have a didgeridoo. It's again throat singing with kind of moving your throat up and down like you're talking, and then that allows this kind of wow 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 things. She's not a happy bunny. Okay, right. There we go again. Now, because the volume control is up too high. Okay, so moving on. So this is a didgeridoo. So I'm doing this, the throat sing. Oh, but I'm also doing wow 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 wow, moving my lips in and out. So here we go. Now, what I'm also doing is drawing air in while moving my lips as well. So I start with the throat sing, but then I suck the air in and reverse it. Okay, so we end up with Now, this is based off, well, it's meant to represent the wind, and a shrill wind, or the sea, sometimes can be made out of this sound. But if done right, at its very tip, it can sometimes sound like a kettle whistle going off. Now, the way I do this is that I'm forcibly pushing air out through my curved lips like this. And then drawing back in, so you end up with whistle, or sometimes it can be referred to as the wind or the sea, but it takes practice, but you will get there eventually. Oh, the nor, the ni nor. So the ni nor is basically, I'm going no. So I'm saying no and prolonging it. So no, no. But I'm pushing it up into my mask. So my mask being a higher resonant note. So this is normal no, no, which kind of actually is throat singing as well. So you go no. Now pushing it up into my mask like this. No.
It just reminded me of one other thing as well, which is whoops. So whoops are basically you're sucking air in really fast, and this can also help when also doing like a really long beatbox kind of jam. You sometimes run out of air and you want to suck the air back in quite quick. So this is what it sounds like.
Anyway, so those are whoops. Now a whoop can also be reversed. I'm going to try and do one of those now. Those are a little bit harder, but I'll try it anyway. So I'm really using the bottom of my lungs there, really digging deep down into what my voice can do. So it'll be.
I might just do a quick kind of demonstration and just kind of link stuff together. So I'll start off with the jungle boogie.
Testing, 1, 2. Testing, 1, 2. Testing, 1, 2.
Anyway, you get the idea. So that's the vocabulary I have, and the purpose of this video is simply to see what other sounds I can do in regards to helping towards performance art. Yeah. So, thank you very much. Thank you for watching to the end of this video, if you have, because I know it was a long one. And hopefully I'll see you again. Okay, bye.